This is Monday, March 23rd, 2015. The March 2015 cousin-wide call.
You looks like BT.
I'm having trouble hearing anyone.
Me too. I was wondering if anyone was speaking or if I just can't hear.
Nobody's speaking.
Oh, good. Okay.
We're waiting for Barry, who's going to lead tonight's call.
Okay. I just don't want to miss anything.
Sorry, I should have been a little bit more clear that we're waiting.
We need some hold music or something kind of jazzy.
We do. So, since I'm supposed to assist Barry, I'll make sure everybody's aware of the change in format, right?
Oh, great. Yeah, I sent it an email. Barry's here now.
We're good then. Welcome, Barry.
Can you guys hear me yet?
Yes.
Okay, good. Are we still waiting for some of our people that were hoping to be here?
Todd and Lillian. Todd may still be having trouble with his device connecting to this platform.
Okay.
Um, but he sent an email about an hour ago. So
Okay.
that's the only confirmations that I received that are not present.
Okay. Okay. Well, what we'll do then is we'll go ahead and get started. Ah, there's Todd. Todd, can you hear our voices okay?
Todd, could you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Welcome.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been able to actually join it.
Awesome. Glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, it's good to have everyone here. And if Lillian or any others can join us along the way, then we'll acknowledge them as they join us too. So first thing to do would be to have a moment in prayer together to be able to start our evening. Would anybody like to lead us out in prayer to get us started tonight?
I'll do that, Barry.
Okay, thanks, Kathy.
Loving God, we are very grateful for this time that we have to come together. God, we would ask a very special blessing this evening upon Reverend David, and we'd ask for safe travel for him. God, we would ask your blessings upon our time together here, that we may follow your will, make good decisions, and dear God, that we be a blessing to the churches in our network. We're very grateful this evening to have Todd joining us, God, and we just ask that you'd help overcome all technical difficulties. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Well, as we were chatting about when I was joining the call just a few minutes ago, we are trying a new format this evening, and I appreciate Shannon's help in getting the word out about that. During the first 45 minutes that we're in right now, we're recording the call so that other people that are a part of our network can listen to it. And then during the last 15 minutes, starting at 8:15, we will turn off the recording. That time will be a time when we can share any concerns that we have personally or any confidential matters that we would rather be able to share just in the confidence of our time together rather than having it recorded and shared with other people. So as we're sharing tonight, whether it's something related to congregation or to your personal ministry, if it occurs to you that you'd like to wait till the last part, then please feel free to do that. That'll be fine. Okay, so for the first part here, we're going to do some check-ins, and this can be a time when you can share a little bit from your own personal life and ministry. It can also be a time to share prayer requests or praise reports with everyone. And then also, if you could, if you're representing a congregation tonight, if you could share a little bit about recent events and announcements for your congregation, that would be great. Or things that you're aware of in the network or the denomination that would be good for all of us to know about. So at this point, I don't think we have Lillian from Paducah with us. Am I right about that?
Has anyone seen Steve's little text? Apparently he can't hear the audio.
I did see that. Lillian from Paducah is not present. I sent her a link.
Okay.
Steve is having audio problems, so we'll try to get him set up.
Okay. Shannon, would it be best for us to stop while you're trying to set that up, or should we continue on while you're doing that?
We can continue. just be mindful that Steve may not be in the call for a few more minutes.
Okay. Okay, so we will get back hopefully to Steve and hear how Steve and Mike and the folks at Appalachian MCC are doing. So let's go ahead and continue on. Beth, could you give us an update from E-Town?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Alrighty. E-Town is pretty much holding the same. We had to cancel our Ash Wednesday service because of weather, and we had to cancel, I think, 1 or 2 services in February because of 24 inches of snow. But I mean, we're holding our own. We had our Pride Center this weekend, and we all watched a movie. Tithing could be better. Our treasurer has been very, very sick. Barb is really having a lot of issues, and it's kind of made things a little difficult with us. She's not been able to attend as much as she would like, but we're making it. We
Well,
just
thank
really,
you.
everyone, if you could keep Barb in your prayers, because she's got something called trigeminal neuralgia, and she's pretty much in chronic pain 90% of the time. She's gotten to where she can only walk every other day. She can't get out much. She can't do much of anything anymore, and it's absolutely crippling her. So really pray for Barb.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear about just how bad this process is for her. It really does sound really painful from what I've heard. Okay, Reverend Kathy, could you give us a little update on any ministry activities and what have you that you've been involved in?
More active at MCC Louisville with serving communion and being a part of the congregational care team that's led by the wonderful Reverend Barry. And then doing some calls to the clergy. I'm going to try to do some extra things this week as we're going to Holy Week, which is kind of a busy time for pastors. So I'm hoping to send some cards and things that will arrive beginning or the end of this week or beginning of next week to our pastors. So do a little bit extra support as we're heading into the Easter time.
So that card ministry sounds really awesome. We've seen that at Louisville, that's been a really effective spirit builder for people. So thank you for taking the initiative on that.
Yeah. So kind of excited about that.
And as Kathy has mentioned before, she is making herself available from time to time to be able to preach at our various churches, either to give our pastors a break or to fill in when they're traveling or any of that type of thing. So. Okay, Steve, are you hearing my voice?
Steve?
Been trying to patch Steve in. I'm not sure if his mic is muted or unmuted at this point.
I can see Steve, like video.
Now I can
Awesome.
finally hear you.
Awesome. And we're waiting for Colleen. Colleen will join us soon too.
Super. Well, Steve, if you're ready, go ahead and give us a report on how you and Mike are doing and the ministries at Appalachian MCC.
Okay. Well, pretty much status quo right now. We've just, got a handful of people who regularly attend. Today is Mike's birthday. So,
Well, happy birthday, Mike.
And I have a bad back, so I don't know how long I can stay on here.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're suffering right now, Steve. definitely we will add that to our prayer time tonight, along with Barb in E-Town with her situation. Yeah, and just celebrate with Mike on another year and another birthday. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this evening Shannon is going to be substituting for Margaret. Shannon, can you give us an update on Columbus? And I see that Reverend Colleen has joined us too. That's great.
Great. Hello, Colleen.
Hello there.
All right, great. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, the update for Columbus. Hold on, let me pull that email up. Okay, after 4 weeks of holding worship at a secondary location due to water damage from burst pipes, we were back in our own space on March 22nd. So that was yesterday. We will do a joint service with the church that allowed us to use their space on Easter morning. And that was pre-planned. So they're joining Maynard UMC in a Easter celebration. Good Friday service will be a live streamed service via YouTube, designed and hosted by Shannon, co-facilitated that night by Shannon and Margaret. It is a first of its kind of service for us. So I'll be actually sending out, starting a social media campaign for the Good Friday service for New Creation here in the next couple days. So anybody that wants to tune in, it'll be this type of platform, the Hangouts on Air, and it'll be a meditative type service. But there'll be information about that in the next couple days. The pianist for New Creation is off for the next 17 days to train to become a truck driver. That could mean big changes for the worship service. However, when the last pianist left, the current one showed up the very next week. So we trust that God's watching out for us. And about the burst pipes and the insurance company, they've been very helpful and things have gone smoothly. Most of the demolition of damaged ceilings, walls, light fixtures, carpet, and bathroom fixtures have been completed. Things are still dusty, but water has been restored and the building is safe to be in. Currently collecting bids for repair work and making decisions about what have to be done professionally and what to do ourselves. And there's a good group of guys who spent all last week doing demolition, and that was a service to the church, so that was work that the church didn't need to pay a contractor to do. We're very grateful for Brandon and Chad and his crew for being able to do all that cleanup work. And so this next couple weeks, they'll be checking the furniture and the items that were sitting on the floor in the building and figure out what needs to be thrown out, what they want to replace, and what to just pitch. And then the food giveaway program is on hold for a couple months. That was supposed to start up next Wednesday for the season. There's a lack of volunteers, so we're hoping to start that again in June. So that's the Columbus update.
Okay, thank you, Shannon, and we send our greetings to Margaret too, who's not able to be with us tonight. So. Okay, well, the momentum is beginning to build for our fall network gathering, which will be in Pittsburgh. So Todd's with us this evening from Pittsburgh, so I'll turn it over to you, Todd, for an update on ministries there and on your own ministries and what have you.
Well, let's see. We're getting ready for Easter, and of course, that's going to be exciting. We just had St. Patty's Day corned beef and cabbage dinner, and that went really, really well. We have game night coming up on Friday. Probably the thing that has occupied most of my time the last week, last Sunday, my car died as it pulled up in front of the church, so it was faithful to get me there, and so I have been involved with searching out new transportation, reliable transportation, and I finally found it. So that's a big relief. Um, just getting ready for Easter is the main focus, the main event right now.
Well, it's good to know that you're able to find a quick replacement. Is that going to be a temporary situation with the car, or will that be something that can be a permanent solution to the problem there?
No, my car threw a piston, so that's pretty permanent. So yeah, I bought a new one.
Yeah, that does sound permanent. I'm really grateful to know, though, you're able to get one quickly. That's good. Well, as we continue through the year, we'll start sending out more details about our time in Pittsburgh this fall, so that people can begin planning for that. But we're really looking forward to that. Okay, is Pastor Colleen from Louisville still on the call with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead and share some reports personally and from the ministry at the church there.
Okay. Well, at the church, personally, everything is going well. I'm excited about the progress with the church. A couple weeks ago, I did go to Austin, Texas, as part of a cohort group, family-sized to pastor-centered sized church. And it was really informative. It was well worth the time and money spent. We're going to start initiating some of the changes in May. We've already started some of them, but the biggest ones will start in May. And it was just an opportune time to spend quality time with elders Ken Martin and Tony Freeman. So I'm just very thankful for that and for seeing how this helps us to move our church forward. We are still trying to sell our building so that we can move out and move into another building. And we had somebody who looked through the building on Saturday who wishes to create a playhouse. And it would be a perfect building, I think, for a playhouse with our slanted floors and the sanctuary and all of that. So I'm thinking it would be a really good fit for the building and for our community. So I'm just praying that that goes through. Now, as far as our church, unfortunately, we had a longtime member, Linda Gregory, pass away. And I met with her daughter today, and we're planning her funeral service for Wednesday at 2 o'clock. And her visitation will be tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. So that's keeping us a little bit busy, as well as all of the Easter services. We are having Maundy Thursday service at 7 p.m., Good Friday service at 7 p.m., and I believe there's supposed to be an Easter crosswalk Good Friday during the day, which I hope to attend as well. So what else did you need to know, Barry?
That's good. One thing I wanted to let you know is that we are going to spend the last 15 minutes of the call with the tape recorder turned off in case there are any confidential concerns or topics of discussion that you'd like to share in a discussion with the tape recorder off. So
Okay.
those
Well,
of you
so,
that
one other topic is we are hosting Sean Thomas for a concert on Saturday, April 25th, and then he will also return the next morning for worship and sing a couple songs. So we're kind of excited about that. We've already had Justin Ryan and Jason and DeMarco, and so we're starting the year out now with Sean Thomas. So that's exciting.
Good. Thank you very much for that good report.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. At this point, we'll kind of open it up for churches that I don't think are represented directly, but if we have any news to share from conversations with their pastors or their congregants, one of those would be for the Paducah congregation and from Lillian. Anybody have any news to pass on from them at all this past month?
We finalized. I'll be preaching there the first two Sundays in July. Actually retired from her day job. and she'll continue pastoring, but that'll be her only position. She's worked full-time and pastored for many, many, many years. So she's very excited about that change. So arrange that. So otherwise, I think that they've always got things on their Facebook and seem to be doing lots of things.
Yeah, it is really true. Paducah has a real active ministry right now, and it is a delight to be able to celebrate with Lillian as she retires from her career in the public school system there in Paducah. So
Very
it's great.
exciting.
Right. And then we have Reverend Joy, who's been working with both our Cincinnati and our Dayton, Ohio congregations. Does anybody have any news either from Reverend Joy or from the congregations over the past month or two? After our previous discussions about Dayton, Ohio having been in the GLBT media as they hosted a memorial service for a member of the trans community that had committed suicide, I went back and looked at some of the articles covering that situation, and I did feel a real sense of gratitude and of pride for how our Dayton congregation really ministered to a lot of people through that period several months back. I don't have any real recent news, though, from them on anything. So. Okay, is there any other news related to our congregations before we go on to general network news and denomination-wide news? Anything anyone would like to share?
I did forget to mention that NCC Town is also having a Monday, Thursday, a Good Friday service, and then we're having our normal Easter service followed by a great big ham and turkey dinner with every imaginable Easter food. So I did forget to tell you, we are doing Olive Holy Week as well.
You guys do put on really good potlucks, I have to say.
Thanks, I think so. A lot of us have Baptist backgrounds, and if Baptists don't do anything, we eat.
That's right. Eating's a part of love and fellowship. That's right. Okay, I'm just going to mention a few things, and then you all chime in as I'm talking about these things if you have any observations or any other information. But one of them is on March 17th, the awards that MCC gives each year were made public through a denomination-wide email, and one of those awards was for network leadership. And as we had talked about in our past couple of calls, our network's leadership, David and Margaret, were honored with that award this year. So it was really great seeing it sent out to the entire denomination. And I don't think there was anything in the email that elaborated on the various awards that I could tell. But it is an exciting time for us as a network to have that, nod give to our co-leaders. And then coming up on March 31st, which is a week from tomorrow, is the deadline for the super low conference registration rate for the MCC General Conference, which will be held next year in 2016. It'll be in Victoria, British Columbia, and it will be the week of July 4th, 2016. So if you or anybody you know would like to take advantage of the super discount rate that ends on the 31st of March, please do that quickly. And if you have any questions about that, I can direct you the right way to get information on that. In addition, there'll be a special general conference for our denomination held on May 6th and 7th of this year. It's going to be a virtual conference done electronically via the internet. That conference will consist of webinars and then a survey vote of both the clergy and the lay house of the denomination. And the purpose of the special virtual conference is to affirm the elders that were appointed recently to our denomination. Does anybody have any insights on that or any discussion on that coming up on May 6th and 7th? If you all have your ties to the denomination either paid up or a agreement that is current, a current agreement to get caught up, or if you're a member of the clergy house in good standing, then you'll be receiving an invitation to those webinars and to that vote. Okay, a little closer to home, we have our network gathering for our 5-state network, and it'll be on the 16th and the 17th of October of this year. And that is the third weekend of October. Friday night will be our traditional gathering for dinner, and then all day Saturday will be our various network activities at Pittsburgh. They'll be hosting us. So as the year goes on, we'll continue the planning process and eventually open up registration for that. And as part of the planning process, the network leadership team will be meeting for a retreat and planning time on Saturday, May 9th. And that activity for the leadership team will be held outside of Cincinnati at the mother house of a convent near a Catholic university there. So we just covet your prayers from everyone in the network as we gather for that time of spiritual refreshment and also visioning and planning and everything. We want to keep David Zier in our prayers. I don't know the details, but there was a death in his family, and he's been attending a funeral that he was officiating at related to that. So he's not able to join us tonight. Well, at this time we are running pretty early, so if there are some other topics of discussion or some suggestions or materials that you're using you'd like to share about to us, or any resources or anything like that, I'll just open it up in case people have some things they'd like to share. But we do have our monthly network newsletter that will hopefully be going out quickly. So we want to say thank you to Shannon for collating all the materials. And if you have something that you would like to submit, please do that within the next 48 hours if possible, so that we can have that newsletter in the hands of all of our network colleagues within the next several days. Shannon, anything you'd like to share about the newsletter, how it's coming together or anything?
I just want to share how grateful I am to work with this team, and putting this newsletter together has been very challenging, and has opened my eyes to my passions that I used to have and had put aside for a long time. So I appreciate being able to facilitate the activity, and the leaders and the pastors that put in the information every month through the form. Any suggestions, critiques that anyone has, please share with me. This is a growing process for me. I absolutely am overjoyed with my opportunity here with the network. So I wanted to share my gratitude, if anything.
Barry,
Yes.
Could I say that I want to say thank you to Shannon for all the work that she does for this network, because this is time consuming, and she gets out the newsletters promptly, and I really appreciate all of that so we can keep informed.
I really agree. It's just, for me personally, it is really fulfilling being a part of this network. And so Shannon is one of our spark plugs that helps the engine to, the fuel lines and everything to finally spark and work. So I'm very grateful to work with Shannon and everyone. Anyone have any feedback on the first couple of months of the newsletter at all? Or is anybody not getting it and wanting to get it? Or?
I've enjoyed it. I agree. Shannon's doing a wonderful job with it.
Shannon, did you get the images I sent you today?
I did. I have submissions from almost everybody, so I think we'll be ready to go on time.
One thing I'd like to share about the newsletter is this is not only a chance for those of us that are activists to be able to commune with each other electronically, but it also is a chance for us to touch the hearts of people that will be active in our network as they catch the fire and and it ignites in their lives. So it's influencing a lot of people. And then on the other hand, it's a chance for us to connect with the leadership in our denomination so that they can be more abreast and aware of what's happening locally in our lives and in our network. So it really does have a lot of functions that it incorporates, and it's a wonderful tool. Really is wonderful.
Yes, copies go out to a few different elders. And David has made sure that important people in administration is getting a copy. I do believe that our communication efforts over the last year was a big part of why the award went to Margaret and David. So if you didn't know about that, they were awarded by the denomination for their ministry efforts. So, yeah, good job, team.
I agree. Well, last call before we turn off the tape recorder, and then after we turn it off, we will have a chance to share any other further concerns of a more personal or confidential nature, and then we will have a closing prayer time too. So before we turn off the tape recorder, any other things anyone would like to share that you'd like to put out to the group as a whole? Okay, well, let's go ahead and turn off the tape recorder and just have an opportunity now just to be able to share any things that are on our heart that you'd like to have just for this moment in time.